Hello, and welcome to the 2020 RISC-V Summit. My name's Drew Barbier, and I'm Director of Product Marketing at SiFive. Today, I'm excited to spend the next 10 minutes telling you about SiFive's RISC-V Core IP portfolio. Let's begin. SiFive has the broadest portfolio of RISC-V processors, and we break our products down into 3 different categories, and you can see those represented by the different rows on the product map. So starting at the bottom, we have our E-cores, which are 32-bit embedded products. Then we have our S-cores, which are 64-bit embedded cores. And then we have U-cores, which are 64-bit application processors. Our U-cores implement RISC-V supervisor mode, which has support for virtual memory, and by extension supports high-level operating systems like Linux. If you look at the different columns in the product map, you'll see these as representing the different microarchitectures in our portfolio. So the 2 series would be our smallest and most efficient microarchitecture. And within the 2 series, we have both 32-bit and 64-bit embedded offerings in the E2 series and S2 series, respectively. Our mid-range offering is the 3 and 5 series products. These are efficient 5 to 6 stage single issue processors. And then we have the 7 series, which is a high performance 8 stage dual issue superscalar pipeline. Throughout 2020, we've updated the mature products in the 2, 3, 5, and 7 series, and I'll be talking about that in a little bit. And then finally, the last 2 columns represent the newest offerings in SiFive's IP portfolio, the VI7 series, which brings support for RISC-V vectors to the 7 series pipeline. And then finally, the 8 series, which is our highest performance multi-issue 12-stage out-of-order processor. In the next couple slides, I'll talk about some of the unique capabilities of our offerings, as well as some of the new capabilities around the processors in terms of debug and trace, as well as our security products. A few of the markets we've had success in are those which require real-time deterministic behavior. These are markets like aerospace, automotive, and industrial control, whereby having guaranteed and bounded performance can be more important than absolute performance. Our portfolio of RISC-V IP processors have a number of unique capabilities that make them particularly well suited to these markets, from software-controlled dynamic branch prediction to a number of level 1 memories that allow for fast, reliable, and predictable access patterns compared to caches. And these capabilities are silicon proven in Microchip's PolarFire SoC. You can even buy a development board for this SoC from the crowd supply link below. One of the things that makes SiFive special is our development methodology, whereby we have regular portfolio-wide updates. This methodology allows us to quickly react to always changing customer demands and to continually improve upon a solid foundation of mature products. In our latest release, which is called 20G1, because it's the first general release of 2020, we realized substantial performance gains to the tune of 11% year-on-year for the U7, while at the same time significantly reducing power. Now, in addition to the usual power, performance, and area improvements, 20G1 also brought a number of new capabilities, like our new SiFive Shield hardware crypto accelerator, an expanded SiFive Insight trace and debug capabilities, and supporting collateral like the ready-to-go software development platforms based on FPGA images. Now, I can't wait to share with you all some of the new things coming down the line in our next release. Just a few weeks ago at the Fall Lindley Conference, SiFive detailed our first vector processor called the VIU7. VIU7 is based on the foundation of the U7, which already has full support for coherent multi-core and on-the-shelf Linux software stacks. What makes the VIU7 unique is that it brings support for version 1.0 of the RISC-V vector extension, making it well positioned to take on the challenges of the AI applications of tomorrow. Recognizing that software is just as important as hardware in this space, SiFive has an evaluation environment available now for the VIU7, which includes the compilers, libraries, and simulators that you would need to begin your design. Last year, we announced SiFive WorldGuard, which is an open, fine-grained security model for providing both code and data isolation. WorldGuard provides hardware-enforced mechanisms to protect cores, caches, interconnects, peripherals, and memories, making it a complete system-level approach to security. WorldGuard's an open specification that's been shared with the RISC-V Foundation, and we're hoping to see broader adoption from other RISC-V vendors so that we can raise the security level of all RISC-V implementations. My coworker, Danny Nativel, will be giving a more detailed talk on WorldGuard later in the summit, so please attend if you're interested. SiFive Insight is a complete trace and debug solution for SiFive's RISC-V core IP products. From runtime control to multi-core instruction trace using the long-time industry standard Nexus 5001 format. SiFive Insight allows software developers to make the move to RISC-V without sacrificing any of the usability that they've come to expect. SiFive Insight also supports ARM core site compatibility, allowing for SiFive processors and ARM processors to be debugged together over a single interface. SiFive Insight is well supported by both open source and the most popular commercial tool vendors. And most importantly, SiFive Insight comes pre-integrated and verified together with your SiFive core IP deliverable, saving you time and effort. And when it comes to software development, SiFive has you covered here too. From tools and simulators to both embedded and Linux SDKs, all the way to fully integrated developer environments. SiFive's RISC-V development tools and software are all open source and freely available on our website and our GitHub. And we've recently launched our newest development board called SiFive Unmatched. The SiFive Unmatched development platform is meant to kick the RISC-V Linux ecosystem into high gear by pairing a fast, multi-core U7 series processor with 8 gigs of DDR4 memory, fast NVMe storage, gigabit Ethernet, and PCI Express expandability all in a mini ITX form factor. The RISC-V PC is here. We're planning wide availability of this platform in Q1 for a price of $650. Pre-order now by going to our website. If you want to learn more about our RISC-V processor IP offering, or anything that I discussed today, just head to our website at www.sifive.com. You can request your evaluation of our core IP by clicking the red button that says Get RISC-V. And as always, you can submit a request to our sales team by clicking the Contact Sales button at the top right of the page. Thanks for your time, and I hope to talk to you soon.